I want you to stay with me. We're going to play a clip for about a minute. The first one is a Catholic priest talking about anti-Semitism, and then right after that, Bill Maher of HBO, he said few things when the Pope was here, but we did not see a lot of people standing up and screaming about it. If it was the other way around, we would see a lot of Jews standing up. So we're going to play this, and then after that, I want your comment on actually both of them. So let's go to the DVD and listen to that.
A religious congregation of brothers and priests working in the Catholic Church in 30 countries using the apostolate of media. I have been a priest for over 30 years and been involved in Jewish-Christian dialogue for over 20 years. And I would like to address the issue of anti-Semitism. It predates Christianity. It takes on many forms. Sometimes it's purely a religious anti-Semitism. Sometimes it's social and political. And in the 20th century, it was unfortunately racial. Generally, all of these currents of anti-Semitism get intermeshed, tangled up, and they result in the suffering of the Jewish people in a very real way. In living memory, millions were sent to their deaths simply because they were Jews. Therefore, anti-Semitism can never be taken lightly. It's always a serious matter. And it's especially serious for people who are religious. If religion is used to persecute the Jews, it's particularly heinous because God has loved the Jewish people throughout history, sustained and nourished them. And through the Jewish people, through Israel, God revealed how to live a godly life in the midst of an ungodly world. Therefore, we have to be very careful when it comes to anti-Semitism. There's no such thing as being just a little bit anti-Semitic. One typical thing that many people believe, but which is not true, is that the Jews control all the banks in the world, all the capital. Now, some people just hear that, they accept it, they go about their lives and don't really give it a second thought. They have a bit of misinformation that can be corrected through education if they took the time to look into it.
I've heard about this. Bill Maher has really been under attack by Catholics and other outraged people since he went on that rant last week about the Pope and about Pope Benedict's visit. Just listen to what he had to say.
I'd like to tip off law enforcement to an even larger child-abusing religious cult. Its leader also has a compound. And this guy not only operates outside the bounds of the law, but he used to be a Nazi and he wears funny hats.
All right, well, just last night, Mayor apologized, allegedly. Here's how he's trying to make amends. Listen.
The thing that argues for their side of this is that, you know what? He was coerced into that. He was a teenager. I wouldn't blame any He was a 14-year-old kid in Nazi Germany. Of course, he's going to do what they tell him to do. So on that score, you know what, my Catholic friends? I will never make the Pope as a Nazi joke again. Because you're technically right, okay, and also because it distracts from the main point.
Yes,
we're still... The main point I was making...
I can't hear a thing.
...was that the Pope, instead of a religious figure...
So you're going to have to summarize
...was the CEO of a chain of nationwide daycare centers who had thousands of employees who had been caught molesting children and then covering it up. He would have been in jail.
Okay. We'll take it from the end. That was two different clips, one of them with a Catholic priest and the other one with Bill Maher of HBO, where he very much said some horrible things about the Pope and about Catholic priests. Why is it that a Jew such as Bill Maher can get on TV and say the things he says and you don't see the uproar, but if someone said anything about Jews, it will probably be the end of them? Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I guess we have a double standard, don't we? what else can I say? There's a double standard here.
Okay. The most important thing is what the Catholic priest. Now, were you able to hear the Catholic priest?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Well, very much
What did he say?
to sum it up, he did say that for the last 20 years he had been working with a Jewish Catholic dialogue, and that God loved the Jewish people throughout history, and he made them prosper, etc., etc., and that the notion that these people have control of money and banks is nonsense, that's anti-Semitic. And so basically, I mean, that was a Catholic priest that was very much saying the opposite of what you are saying.
Right. But I mean, you can get priests or people to say anything. Let's cut to the heart of the matter right now. The church is faced with a crisis right now because there are certain elements within the church that now say that Jews can be saved without accepting Jesus Christ as their Savior. Okay? This is known as heresy. Okay? That's an impossibility according to the Catholic faith. Okay? You cannot be saved without accepting Jesus Christ. You cannot be saved by rejecting Jesus Christ, which is what the Jews do. Now, there was a cardinal in the church, not just a priest. Cardinal Walter Kaspar said this basically at a conference at Boston College in 2003. The church marched up to the brink of the abyss, okay, and then it stepped back, okay? The Pope just wrote a prayer, a new prayer for the Mass, the Latin Mass, in which he said, we are going to pray for the conversion of the Jews, which means, yes, Jews have to convert if they want to be saved. And then, lo and behold, wrote an article in the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung in March in which he said, yes, as a matter of fact, Jews do have to accept Christ in order to be saved. So now made a historic step back from the abyss. And that will trickle down. It will take years maybe to trickle down, but eventually this priest will hear about it, and he will stop talking the way he's talking.
Okay. So that's the Catholic position. On the other hand, the Protestants' position, the John Hagee's position, the Christian Zionist position, that they want this Armageddon so the Jews can join in with the Christians or die. Now, Professor, why is it so important that we concentrate on these differences in religions? I mean, what somebody believes, if Catholics believe that the only way the Jews will be redeemed is if they join in the Catholic religion or accept Jesus Christ, why should we really care much about those things? I mean, in 2008, there are a lot more things that we need to worry about than having to worry about Catholics and Muslims and Jews and people's religions. Why is it so important?
Because the Jew is a theological construct. And that's the only way you can understand what's going on, if you understand theology. So whether you like it or not, that's the crux of the issue. I mean, I could talk about that in a number of different ways. Some people say it's racial. I don't agree with that. I think the only way you can understand it is theological. There was a Jew in Poland by the name of Oswald Rufeisen, who was a hero, saved Jews from the Holocaust, ended up having to hide out. He ended up hiding out in a Carmelite convent, and he became a Catholic. And after that, he became a priest. And after the war was over, and after Israel was founded, he decided he's going to go to Israel because he was born a Jew, and they want them all to come back. So he went to Israel, and guess what? They wouldn't give this guy citizenship. Now, why wouldn't they give him citizenship? His mother was Jewish. He was a hero in the World War II, saved the lives of thousands, hundreds of Jews. Why didn't they give him citizenship? Because the Jew is a theological construct. It's a rejection of Christ. That's the heart of the matter. And until you understand that, you're never going to get anywhere in understanding the world situation.